Shalom Makim. First off, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to do a quick video real quick. Okay, going into, seek ye the kingdom first, and all these things will be added to you. If your main focus is on seeking Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, then all these things shall be added unto you. The Lord will give you your heart's desire, but first you have to work for it. Okay, just like how Jacob had to work for Rachel. Okay, he had to work for Laban for an X amount of years. Okay, 7 years. Okay, and then on top of that, another 7 years. Laban, man, pulled a quick one on Jacob, but Jacob had to work in order to get that prize, okay? The main prize was who? Rachel, because Jacob loved Rachel, okay? Jacob loved her. He had a strong desire to be with her. So he worked for Laban for 14 years just so he can win Rachel. Of course, you better best believe the 14 years was worth it, I mean, when Jacob first saw Rachel, she was probably a young woman, like maybe 14 years old, 13 years old. But by the time he finally got to marry her, she was probably like 20, 20 something years old, So I believe Rachel was like in her late 20s when Jacob first popped her. But the point is that you must first, if you want your heart's desire, man, rather if it be, clothes decked out with silver, with clothes decked out with gold, clothes decked out with ornaments, rather if you have a strong desire to get those glorious bodies, you might be working to get those glorious bodies, So you can have the appearance that you want to have, you can look how you want to look, you might have a desire to have spiritual power. You might want to fly. You might want to have the ability to teleport. You might have a strong desire to explore the heavens. You might want to go into outer space. You might want to know what it's like to be on different planets, what creatures are like, Well, you might have a strong desire to know what it's like just swimming in the ocean without having to worry about running out of breath. You might have a strong desire to want multiple women. You might have a strong desire to want to be, free, liberated, to have front row seats on the kingdom of heaven, to make it on the chariot, things of that nature, you see. But in order to get those things, you must first seek the kingdom of heaven. Because, just like how Laban did not just hand over Rachel to Jacob, the Lord is not going to just hand over the kingdom of heaven to you. He's not going to just hand over the kingdom of heaven to anybody. We're all going to have to work for the kingdom of heaven. That includes uploading videos, going out on the highways and hedges, rather if it be cold outside, hot outside, even if it's raining on some cases, it might be raining outside. You still going hard for the truth. Rather if you're being attacked by scoffers, rather if you're being attacked by scorners, rather if you're being attacked by demons, rather if people are making jokes about you, making false allegations at your job, you're doing whatever it takes to make your calling and election sure. As it is written, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. We're called in this thing, but now it's only a matter of if we are chosen or not, That's why we must, we must humble ourselves, pray to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai to keep us humble, to fill our spirit with humility and with meekness and with the fear and faith of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay? We must continue to, pray. Pray that the Lord does not take his Holy Spirit from us. And pray to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai to give us the strength to endure. Because like Yahweh Shai said, he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. Okay? So, we're hoping to be of the elect, We're hoping to be of the elect. Okay? Talking about the sincere brothers in this truth that are truly hoping to be of the elect, we're hoping to be of the elect, So, Lord's will, if we're of the elect, brothers, the Lord is going to give us our heart's desire. Anything you could ever ask for in righteousness, not wickedness, but righteousness. If you have a desire to have dreads in the kingdom, it's not going to happen, okay? The Lord is not dealing with dreads. Now, you could be an Israelite man and have braids, but dreads are unclean, okay? As a matter of fact, somebody who have dreads, their hair end up collecting bacteria, and all that bacteria tends to stick to their hair, and just like that, their hair starts stinking because of all that sweat and mildew and bacteria building up inside those dreads, man. So according to the scriptures, dreads are actually considered unclean. So you can better understand. Dreads are considered unclean, but hey, the Lord's gonna give you your heart's desire in the kingdom of heaven. So Salakia for ranting like that. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 19. Lay not up for yourself treasures upon earth. And the treasures upon earth will be what? The things you see before you, like vehicles, You might be saving up your money to get a car. You might be saving up your money to get that motorcycle. You might be saving up money to get this particular item in order to please this woman. You might be saving up your money to get a decent house. You might be saving up your money to buy, you might be saving up your money for your life retirement plan. Look, Yahushua said, lay not up for yourself treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. Because, everything we have in this society is tangible. It is temporary. Okay, and what I mean by temporary, I'm meaning everything we see, everything we have in this society is going to be melted in nuclear fire, because there's going to be a nuclear war during World War III, and during World War III, it's going to start off as a war fought with tanks, jets, troops, futuristic weapons, warships, war jets, drones, war choppers, RPGs, grenades, missiles, you name it. And then it's going to escalate into a nuclear war. And during that nuclear war, America is going to be the main target of the nuclear war. And of course, the land of Israel is going to be wiped out by nukes as well. Talking about the land of Israel, that land is going to be wiped out with intercontinental ballistic missiles shot off from Iran. And America is going to be wiped out by intercontinental ballistic missiles shot off from Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, India, and any other, even NATO, because NATO is going to turn on the United States of America, okay? So, everything we have here, from our phones to our PlayStations, to our TVs, to our basketballs, to our footballs, to our clothes, our shoes, to the things we have in our homes, to our vehicles. Look, all this stuff is temporary. It's not going to be with us, you know, for the next 50 years. You know, this country could go down this year. It can go down early as next year. It can go down around next spring. Okay, like Yahweh said, pray that your flight be not in the wintertime. So Lord's will, the next Passover could possibly be the last Passover. Okay, especially if Yahweh said, pray that your flight be not in the wintertime, right? So if our flight is not in the wintertime, then that means that the only thing will be what? Spring? But guess what? Even before spring of next year, this country could still go down. That's how close we are to the end of Esau Edom's rulership, you know. This kingdom could go down this year. It can go down as early as next year. Early next year, before spring of next year, you know. It just depends on what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai have in store for the inhabitants of the earth. You see? So everything we have is temporary. It's all going to be burnt up in intercontinental nuclear fire. So don't lay up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. Right? Because the things we have now can easily be stolen from us. Rather if it's by 2/3, rather if it's by UN troops, rather if it's by the National Guard, rather if it's by DHS, rather if it's by the IRS, rather if it's by martial law troops. Okay? The scriptures speak about that in 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter, okay? But they shall still destroy and spoil, which the word spoil means to plunder. It means to steal from. Okay? So even then, you know, the possessions we have now, it's going to be taken away from us. You know, the scriptures speak about how some of us is going to be casted into concentration camps. So you don't want to be saving up, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars for this vehicle just to get some box and shit from some worthless ass 2-bit hoe. And then in an hour of martial law, you get thrown to a concentration camp, and then one of those martial law troops seizes control of your vehicles after taking your keys. Oh, well, this is my car now. Because in an hour of martial law, which the word martial means warlike. And then you got the word law, which goes back to the word decree, which means decision. And you know what they say about martial law, you know. In an hour of martial law, basically, the country is basically a battlefield. And you know what they say about the battlefield. What happens on the battlefield stays on the battlefield. So if a member of martial law decides to seize your assets that you saved up your money for, there's nothing you could do about it. You're going to be in a concentration camp anyway, you know, or you might have to be on the run from martial law. You ain't going to have time to think about that expensive TV you just bought. You ain't going to have time to think about all them goodly clothes you just bought. You see, the 2/3 of our people, they're going to be concerned with those tangible things. Oh my God, bro, I spent $2,000 on that chain. I got to go back to the house and get it. Boom. As soon as you go back in that house, his black ass get blown away. Boom. No, all his wife hears is a bloom. And then after that, the only person she see walking out of that house is a martial law troop with a black shotgun in his hand. Talking on the radio, talking about target down. You see? So you don't want to be concerned with the tangible things in this society, man. You know? See? And the ultimate thief on this planet is the Edomites. That's starting with the so-called elites, trickling down to the rest of their nation of people. They are the biggest thieves on the planet. So, hey, don't be surprised if you know, in the hour of martial law, a lot of your expensive assets gets seized by some of those martial law troops, because that's going to be happening. It tells you that in 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter. But there shall be an insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. What's your goods? Your assets that you worked so hard to save up for. Okay, that's your goods. For they shall take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. So you don't want to be focused on, saving up, bullshit on this side. You want to be plowing and working for the kingdom of heaven. Okay, so it says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through and steal. Because the kingdom of heaven, that is the number one thing that nobody can steal from you. The only one who can take the kingdom of heaven away from you is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And guess what? The kingdom of heaven is guaranteed to the whole nation of Israel. The elect is going to have front row seats on the elect is going to have front row seats to enjoy the kingdom of heaven. But the 2/3 of our people, they're going to come back through the loins of the elect in the kingdom of heaven. Okay, because 2/3 of our people, they're going to perish on this side. They're going to perish on this side. And that's according to biblical prophecy. I can name a couple of scriptures: Zechariah 13:8, Jeremiah 16 verse 4, Romans 11 verse 7. Okay, 1 Peter 4 verse 17 down to 18. Amos chapter 9 verse 8. The list goes on and on, man. Okay, so 2/3 of our people, they're going to perish on this side, but they're going to come back through the loins of the elect in the kingdom of heaven. You see? So the kingdom of heaven, that is something that no one can take from you. No one on this planet can take away the kingdom of heaven from you. Okay, the only one who could take away the kingdom of heaven from you is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And if you're of the elect, it's impossible for the kingdom of heaven to be taken away from you, because it is prophesied for you to be delivered and to make it into the kingdom of heaven. Okay, it's verse 21. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So like where your treasure is, that means where your main focus is at. So if your main focus is on getting that one expensive vehicle, then your main focus is going to be on working and working and working. You're not really going to be focused on the truth. If your main focus is on getting that one woman just so you can get some box, your main focus is going to be on what you can buy for yourself to get her attention. What can you do to get her attention? How do you get her attention? How do you get her to talk to you? How do you get her to acknowledge you? Blase, and then right before you know it, you start finding yourself being a simp. If your main focus is on pursuing your dreams, trying to make it in this society, trying to blow up to be the next biggest rap star, the next biggest movie star, the next basketball star, the next football star, if you're trying to be the next person to make it on America's Got Talent, if you're trying to be the next biggest singer, then your main focus is going to be on saving up money for college, getting loans, getting college funds, doing this and that, figuring out, well, where can you apply to get into college? Your main focus is going to be on everything except serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Now, if your main focus is on the kingdom of heaven, you're going to be doing videos, you're going to be fasting and praying, you're going to be asking, you're going to be begging the Lord in your prayer for things that are essential to your life, like more wisdom, more understanding, being more humble, being filled with more humility, being more brotherly. You're going to be paying your tithes. You're going to be listening to your higher ups, like the apostles of Great Millstone, your camp leaders, the regional heads. You're going to be dealing according to the Holy Scriptures. You're not going to be committing wickedness behind closed doors. Your main focus is going to be on what you can do to further please Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, so that you may have a seat on the chariot and Lord's will be of the elect. So if your main focus is on the kingdom of heaven, your main focus is going to be on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and not the world. Okay? Now let's skip down to verse 33. Okay. So Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, it says, but seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Okay, did you hear that? Seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, and all these things shall be added unto you. Because like Yahawashi said, let's see, let's get that in the book of the other part of the book of Matthews. Okay, let's see. Okay, hold on. Let's go to Google. All right, bear with me for one moment. Bible. Let's type in Bible, and then I'm gonna type in whoso shall forsake mother and brother for my sake. KJV. Okay, Matthew chapter 19, verse 29. These are the words of Yahawashi, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Matthew chapter 19, verse 29. And everyone who is of the nation of Israel, that's not talking about the whole world, that's talking about Israelites only. Yahawashi's message, all of the apostles and Yahawashi's disciples' messages have always been to the Israelites. All of the Lord's prophets and servants, their messages have always been to the Israelites. It's not talking about the whole world. Okay, the everyone is talking about everyone that is of the nation of Israel, and the nation of Israel only. Matthew chapter 19, verse 29. And everyone that have forsaken houses. Okay, now listen closely, because when Yahawashi said forsaken houses, that doesn't mean move out of your house and be homeless. Okay, that's talking about, your main focus is not on your house. Your main focus is not on your family. I mean, yeah, you take care of your family, your wife, your children, make sure you got bills to pay the household. But your main focus should always be on Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Okay, the scriptures say that when a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. Because hey, even your own woman could be your enemy. All the Lord have to do is send Satan on her. Okay. So your main focus always wants to be on pleasing the Lord, man, to the best of your ability. Okay. That's right. So everyone that have forsaken houses and brethren, your brethren can be your neighbors, your friends in the world. Okay. It could be your cousins, your nephews, and when you come into the truth and you get some form of understanding and wisdom, you be like, hey, look, I love you, cousin. I love you, nephew. I love you, bro. You my friend in the world, but hey, look, I can't do that no more because according to the scriptures, it's considered wicked, So, it's not talking about, you got to completely forsake your friends, No, here it is. You come into the truth and shit and do. Yo, bro, man, I got some bad news. I'm in the truth now, so I can't. I have to leave you behind. Oh, what, bro? What do you mean, click? Nah, bro. That's not what the scripture's talking about. When it says forsake brethren, that means don't do after their ways, man. Forsake their wicked ways. Okay? See, even a dog gotta agree with me. See, even a dog gotta agree with me. Okay? But it's talking about you gotta forsake the wicked ways. If your friends and because you You might still have a friend in the world, you know, he might have some kind of decency about him, but guess what? He's still a smoker. You know, he might smoke cigarettes, you know. He might still shave off his beard. He might even still eat pork. But he's still cool though, you know. It doesn't mean you have to absolutely forsake him. You know? No, but you know, forsaking brethren meaning don't do after the manner of their wickedness. If they offer you pork chops, be like, nah, I'm cool, bro. I don't eat pork anymore, you know? If they offer you to smoke weed with them, be like, nah, bro, I'm cool. I don't smoke. You know? If they, you know, if they entice you to go gang bang or bang another man's woman, be like, nah, bro, that's wickedness, you know? I can't do that shit. I'm out of here. Okay? So you gotta forsake the way the way that they live, because the way that your brethren in the world live is wicked. You know, you gotta forsake the way they live. You know, because hey, even I have friends in the world. You know, I mean, he's not like the average nigga on the street. I mean, he might still be a lost soul. He don't know he's a Jake, but hey, you know, he got some decency about him. You know, he got a job. You know, he's doing good for himself. But nonetheless, he's still lost in the sauce. So hey, you can have friends in the world. I mean, even though I don't really hang out with Jake like that in the world, though. You know, I hang out with mostly the brotherhood. You know, because the scriptures speak about that. You know, seek out such as be like unto thee. So you know, for the most part, I do hang out with the brothers back at the house. But you know, hey, some of us have friends that are in the world, you know. It's not talking about you got to forsake them completely. That's talking about, you know, you just don't follow after the manner of how they live, because how they live is wicked. The Lord wants you to live a righteous lifestyle to the best of your ability. I say that because we cannot keep the law, statutes, and commandments to 100% in this society. So we keep the law, statutes, and commandments that we can keep to the best of our ability. So in everyone that have forsaken houses or brethren or sisters or father or mother, and again, that's not talking about, you know, you got to leave your mom behind. Hey, mom, I can't associate myself with you no more because I'm in the truth and, you know, you're still eating pork chops and smoking. Nah. Okay, that's not what the scripture is talking about. It's not talking about you got to forsake your mother and your father. The scriptures say honor thy mother and thy father, that thy days might be long upon the earth. So, you know, it's not talking about you got to forsake them. That just means don't do after the manner of their wickedness, you know? If your mother's eating, if your mother is having a pork chop dinner and, you know, you got invited to hang out with her, you know, she might offer you pork chops, be like, nah, I'm good, mom. I don't eat pork, you know? I'm good, mama. I don't eat pork, okay? You know? You know, if your mother offers to celebrate your birthday, be like, nah, I'm cool, man. You know, I've grown out of that stuff, you know? So, yeah, you know, you're not supposed to forsake your parents, but you are supposed to forsake the way they live, you know? Don't do after their wickedness. You can be around your parents, of course, just don't do after the manner of their wickedness, if you get what I'm saying. So it says, and every man who have forsaken houses and brethren or sisters or fathers or mother or wife or children, of course you're supposed to take care of your wife and children, you know. And I mean, that's not talking about, you know, you up here talking to your sons and your daughters and shit. Hey, look, I love you children, but I got to move out, man. You know, I got called into the truth to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. Nah, man, that's not what it's talking about. You know, that's talking about your main focus should always be on Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai and the kingdom of heaven. No, your main focus should always be on Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai and the kingdom of heaven over your own family members, your own friends, your own cousins, nephews, etc., etc. So now you start to get what I'm saying now, okay? It says, and everyone that have forsaken houses or brethren or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or lands, you know, you might be a farmer. You might have your own land, you know, but your main focus is not on your land, you know. Your main focus is on Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, okay? It says, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. So if you put Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai before all these things, the Lord said you're going to receive 100-fold in the kingdom of heaven. That means you're going to have many cousins, many nephews, many wives. You're going to have many friends. And guess what? All your friends are going to be Israelites, okay? And guess what? They're all going to be righteous because all of Israel is going to be perfect in the kingdom of heaven. Because when the 2/3 come back through the loins of the elect in the kingdom of heaven, guess what? They're going to be born perfect. So all of your friends, they're going to be perfect, you know? You're going to have 100 times more friends, 100 times more wives, 100 times more land, 100 times, well, I mean, if you're of the elect, I don't know if you're going to have any parents, okay? Okay? If you're of the elect, I don't think you're going to have any parents. I mean, the only parent we're going to have is Yahweh, you know, our Father. Then, of course, we're going to have our big brother, Yahweh Shai. Okay? You know, but the point is that if you forsake all these things that I just read in Matthew 19, verse 29, you're going to receive 100-fold of that in the kingdom of heaven. You're going to have all the money, you're going to have all the money you want, all the jewelry you want, from sapphires to onyxes, to gemstones, to sapphires, to rubies, to crystals, to amethysts, okay, to chrysolites, to you know, what else is there? You know, there's so many different types of gemstones out there. You know, gemstones that can glow in the dark. You know, gemstones that give off different types of powerful vibrations. You're going to have all that to your heart's content. If you want clothes decked out in sparkling gold and platinum with some precious gemstones on it, hey, you can have that. You can have all of that, you know. Your ears decked out with gold, you know. Hey, man, you're going to have gold and rubies and platinum in your hair, you know. All kind of rings and bracelets on your wrists. You're going to have rings on your finger made from pure gold and platinum and gemstones. Bracelets around your wrists and on your ankles made from gold, precious gemstones, sparkling. I'm talking about sparkling gold. I'm talking about gold that the moment it hits the sunlight, you just see like hundreds of sparkles coming off of that bad boy. You're going to have that on your ankles, on your wrists, you know. You're going to have women to wash you up in the bathtub. You know, it's going to be quiet. You're going to have all the land you want. You're going to have all the friends you want. You're going to have all the brothers you want, all the cousins you want. You know, and man, it's going to be glorious. But first, you must seek the kingdom of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, so let's go to the book of Colossians. Find that. I believe that's the 3rd chapter. Bear with me for one moment. See? Beautiful. Lord led me right to it. The Wadi Yahweh Shai. Okay. This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 2. It says, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. So, what are some examples of things that are above? With the kingdom of heaven, right? The kingdom of heaven is from above, right? Who does the kingdom of heaven come from? Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay? So you want to set your affections on things that are above, not on things that are on the earth. Oh, shit, man. I would like to go in there. Okay, but well, you know what? I think I hit up tops. But you know, okay? It says, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. Why? Because the things on the earth are tangible. They are temporary, and ultimately, they're all going to be melted away by intercontinental ballistic missiles along with this whole country. It's going to be ashes. So you don't want to set your affection on things that are temporary. You know, that's just like, you know, you might have a PlayStation and then, you know, they might ask you to subscribe to a monthly or a yearly account, you know. As soon as you reach the deadline on that account, you know, it sucks. You're like, man, for real? My subscription is gone already? Yeah, it sucks. You know why? Because that subscription was temporary, you know. But the kingdom of heaven is permanent. It is everlasting. It is eternal. So that's what you want to fight for, being a brother in this truth. You want to fight for the kingdom of heaven. You want to set your affection for the kingdom of heaven, where everything that you will have in the kingdom of heaven will be eternal. It'll never be stolen from you. It'll never be taken from you. No matter what you have, it'll be yours for all eternity. And all you got to do is set your affection on the kingdom of heaven. Now let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. It says, but as it is written, okay, I have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua have prepared for them that love him. So we cannot even begin to imagine in our minds what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua have prepared for us, man. And all we got to do is continue to fight for the kingdom of heaven. Continue to you know, continue to fight for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. You know, continue to endure, brothers, because the kingdom of heaven is right around the corner. With that, I'm going to say, Shalom, is on to the next one.